can't hammer a nail without painting your fingers. The foreman for a crane to transport cement up to the roof, because they can do it faster themselves. This guy invented an ingenious way to smooth out cement, and he was sure that he had thought of everything. But the foreman had a few things to say about his work. So here's another way to level the cement at the last second. I have a secret for you. The machine doesn't make the road markings. This guy just does it by hand with extreme precision. This team always finishes the job before everyone else because they're more synchronized than a bunch of robots. Guys, just don't overdo it. What could be more boring than painting mile-long curves? Oh, not for these lazy geniuses. That's right, this is the drain job. While it takes an ordinary worker all day to plaster a wall, this guy can do it in just a matter of seconds. And here's how. And this is just a professional construction worker leaving the job site after his shift. It seems the builders have wasted the whole morning setting up bricks. But wait, at this rate, they'll finish the job by the end of the week. Does it look like this worker just decided to paint on the road? Wrong. He's actually patching up that annoying pothole with a quick drying resin. This guy cuts metal with scissors like it's paper, and he does it without using a single stencil. And they can't even cut a snowflake out the right way. With this level of excavator skills, I'm sure this guy uses it for everything at home. What? Get your hands dirty, right? And this is why we pay taxes, so the smart government civil engineer can flush our money right down the drain. You won't believe how these guys have optimized the system to deliver cement to the upper floors. Huppy! Huppy! Let's go! I can do the floor here. Huppa! Huppa! Tractor for the hey! Huppa! Why spend a whole week paving the road when you can get the same results in just a few minutes? So I've been scammed my whole life. The way this girl solves the problem of applying putty to high ceilings deserves an award. And this puttier has perfected her technique. Opening portals to hell is a common thing for this worker, because that's how he repairs roofs with a hot tar. But maybe he can still bring my axe back home? If your kid asks you why they need to learn geometry, just show them this video. Applying stucco isn't all that hard if you're brave and fast enough. This is what my cat does with a cat litter. If you thought that workers carefully picked out various stones for your wall clay, then you are very mistaken. They just use stamps. These guys are getting paid for every block they lay, and at this rate, they'll be buying this building soon. The fact that this woman came up with such an idea of using a sponge and some paint is a nightmare for decorative brick manufacturers. A true professional doesn't need the right tool, because it can make a tool out of anything. For example, out of another professional. They forgot Here's another genius cheat method for making a brick wall without bricks. I'm gonna go check my walls. Wow, it works on asphalt too. I'm starting to doubt the existence of bricks. This guy always wanted to be a circus performer, but construction paid better. The driver of this excavator came up with the most creative way to fit a shower into a busy schedule. This worker made a stencil that imitates 15 bricks for decorating a wall, that it can be reused over and over. This is what happens when your Bollywood career's over and you have to go work in construction. How many people does it take to lay such a pipe? Just 2, if they're brilliant. If the Flash ever had to change jobs, he could learn how to roof from this guy. One brick weighs approximately 3 kilograms. Now, count how many kilograms this person is carrying and explain to me how. But he's got nothing on this girl. Not only is this an awesome cement decoration idea, but it's also as simple as possible. Literally like getting a piece of cake. Even an ordinary worker's inner engineer can be awoken when his arms aren't long enough for the job. Here's how to lay out cement perfectly if you have the talent, or you've done it 1,000 times. These creative people figured out that they could use glass bottles to make a house as warm as if it had a 3-layered brick wall. If you think it's impossible to level cement on an angle, just check out the solution these workers in China came up with. How they keep doing it over and over again. At first, this may seem like the beginning of some kind of horror film, but watch to the end, and then you too can make the coolest coffee table ever with the help of some gloves and cement. Are fathering with laying a foundation. These workers are building a house on suddenly your roof needs to be redone. None. If you're tired of traditional bricklaying, try this guy's method. This is the circle of life for a tire. First, it breaks the road, then it becomes the road. Or if they lived a good life, they get turned into walls. Here's what the strongest stairs in the world look like. Bricks on the inside and a perfect layer of concrete on the outside. Look at how this team of cleaners works together like a well-oiled machine and cleans the floor with the speed of a tsunami. This guy is too lazy to go back for a second trip, so he grabs all the contents of the van. Try to count the number of bags he's carrying and write the answer in the comments. You don't have to dry out the work site for this excavator operator because he is the king of gravity. I were him, I would definitely work in my swim shorts. The way these guys lay concrete perfectly should be the new standard of smoothness. And now let's see how a machine does it. Whose is better? Cast your vote in the comments. This man can easily handle a load of 19 bricks weighing 66.5 kilograms on his head. Meanwhile, you're whining about your 50-kilogram wife hanging around your neck. Seriously? You'll never guess what this truck is carrying. A 40-meter blade from a windmill. This definitely didn't come from an AliExpress. This worker has one job, launching a 20,000-ton ship on the water. Want to know what this pro is doing right now? Preparing the asphalt for compaction. I thought for sure these guys were making some for Lord of the Rings until I realized it was a metal fence heated to 1,000 degrees Celsius. The work itself isn't the hardest part of the job for this crew. It's dismantling the scaffolding after they're done. Man, damn nurses steal. This guy has found a unique way of making money without even looking up from his favorite apple. His friends call him Wise Shoulder Jeff. This is why the generation that grew up on Tetris is way cooler than the one that grew up on Minecraft. So, how do they get out of the cabs? Want to know how to earn $40,000 and work just 2 days a year? Every 6 months, climber Kevin Schmidt climbs to the top of a 457-meter television tower to change the light bulb. Sounds like the easiest money in the world, but still won't catch me up there. This current is powerful enough to level an entire city, but not enough to take out this determined driver and his 10-ton truck. Someone must have really needed those logs. What's heavier, a kilogram of steel or a kilogram of styrofoam? Well, it doesn't matter when this worker can stack styrofoam in such symmetrical stacks. First, try to count how many bricks this guy's carrying, and then answer the most important question. How are they staying on his back? How many people does it take to cover a 25-meter perfectly round grain bin pad with concrete? Just 11, but they're fully in sync. Watch how these fearless workers climb nearly 300-meter high power lines. And this is how they get down. What do they do when they have to go to the bathroom? This is how wind farm generators are assembled 123 meters in the air. The only thing harder than tearing a sticker off a package is keeping up with this guy as he puts them on. You'll never guess how Vietnamese tactical teams use bamboo in their work. Are these guys really mopping the lawn? Well, they're actually tamping down the artificial grass with sand to make it look like the real thing. Mankind is yet to come up with a device capable of splitting a 9-meter rock perfectly in two. But no one told that to these fellas in southern India with nothing but a hammer and a chisel. What? Get ready, because you've never seen a more satisfying parking lot in your life. Always work smarter, not harder. Honestly, this operator demolishes a building with an excavator bucket more tenderly than my mother used to cover me with a blanket. You're about to learn how to save a ship from flooding. Just give this guy some time. He'll be has quartz from every hole. What do the horses from Skyrim and excavators in the real world have in common? They are immune to gravity. You won't believe how these giant tables are made. This guy manually bends dozens of them into one big one. This man needs just 100 seconds and a small chainsaw to cut down a 100-year-old tree. And this is proof that the size of the saw doesn't matter at all if it's in the hands of a professional. I don't know what's more impressive, the size of that thing or this guy's trimming skills. Imagine what would happen if you gave him a brush and took him to the Great Wall of China. Things you do when your wife forgets to pack your lunch. If this guy doesn't defend the house, then his wife is gonna bite his head off. Compare the sizes of the logs that Schwarzenegger and his worker are carrying. Who do you think is stronger? When there's a true pro behind the wheel of the excavator, all it takes is one move to demolish a 30-meter cooling tower. This plumber loves his job so much that he even learned to breathe underwater. Aquaman, is that you? I don't know if I'm you. This guy was like, you just achieved knockoff. Meanwhile, this guy, oh no. And the upgrade. This builder is so cool that he builds skyscrapers by hand, 200 meters up. I'm still free to ride the Ferris wheel. Just look at this loader bouncing all this foam on his head. Oi! Oi, yeah. I want to believe in myself as much as this guy believes in his accuracy. Did you know that blowing 1,100 degrees Celsius heated glass and vases requires more than just big lungs? Now picture him blowing out the candles on his birthday cake. And this is what a level 100 plumber looks like. If you thought that no one could be better than Leonardo da Vinci, then I present to you this nail gun guy. Oh. Gasoline. Here's what hydro seeding looks like. It's grass seed, fertilizer, the first dose of water, and dye all in one. Now you know. This guy has a very simple job. He cleans a 5-meter arm at a height of 1,000 meters every day. The Amish can use special equipment, but they can synchronize 100 people to literally move a house. Just ow. Or someone told them that they could have anything they could carry, and the community really needed a barn. Here's how 4 skilled excavator operators can lift a 6,000-ton oil tanker. This loader definitely deserves the title of Mr. Balance 2022. Uginawa, Wakanda. You are witnessing the destruction of a 21-story building that height of 16 meters. I just have one question. How did they get up there? If your mom doesn't let you play Minecraft, well, first off, Satan, but secondly, show her this video and she'll definitely change your mind. What you're seeing now is no accident. It's a planned remote log barge dump. While workers are busy gathering these logs, the ship will have time to make to count the bricks this time, but I will tell you that they weigh a whole 115 kilograms. Yeah. This man had one simple job, to put the bags on the conveyor, but he just couldn't pass up the opportunity to play the biggest game of Jenga he had ever seen. For this professional climber, painting a wall on the 10th floor is just another day at the office. Meanwhile, my anxiety level's up to 100% just from watching it. This guy never misses a workout, but he can easily make you miss your flight. This is what happens when you hire a perfectionist and pay them by the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, before you is the legendary man who beat the helicopter mission in GTA on his first try. The pros only need 10 nails and 1 hammer to split this little rock. How long does it take to dismantle a 500-meter 2-lane overpass? Just 24 hours if 116 excavators get down to business. I'll just say that one of these scooters weighs about 80 kilograms. This guy came up with the easiest way to keep wires under control. This is what it looks like to transfer cargo between 2 ships on the high seas during a storm. The boss told these janitors that they could go home once the road was dried, so... Alright, now for the love potion, you will need a flower, oil, water, and wait, you're saying this is for $100 porcelain utensils and not a class at Hogwarts? You won't believe why this craftsman broke so many expensive stones. He needed the perfect one to create this ball. This is how 3 tons of steel heated up to 815 degrees Celsius transforms into a giant steel ring. This red-hot straight pipe was made to satisfy you after a long day. Glass for the 400-meter Jungjaja glass bridge was made so strong that even a direct blow from a mallet doesn't phase it. Whoa! Come in! Eat! Oh! What? Check out this life hack. Mix some gravel up with some glue, and suddenly your stairs aren't so boring anymore. Just don't trip on them. Amazingly, this person has found a way to remove tiles without damaging it. All it took was fire. If you decide to try this at home, just remember not to overdo it. This is fine. This is one of the largest loads in the world. It's a nuclear reactor weighing 1,048 tons, and it was transported using 2 hydraulic trailers and 10 prime movers. I'm still afraid to transport my bike on the roof of my car. If ninjas peeled cauliflower, this man would be their teacher. Anyone who's afraid of roller coasters should definitely not get in this guy's car. How does he not get sick? Look at how flawlessly this guy does his job with his right hand and still uses his left hand to check for mistakes without even waking up. Using an ordinary hammer, this scientist retrieves a sample of 1,000 degrees Celsius lava as if it were melted cheese. I hope all your AliExpress orders arrive at the same speed that these workers deliver cement to the upper floors. This bartender only had one shot at impressing everyone, then he nailed it. Sorry, bro, I forgot to press record. They're so synchronized that it's like there's a glitch in the system or something. Professional bread couriers in Cairo can get you your bread even before it cools down. Never try this at home. If someone were to ask this guy what his true power is, he could answer, I am a water tamer, and it would be 100% true. Give this girl a hairdryer and a utility knife, and you won't recognize your car. She simply has no trouble when it comes to doing vinyl wraps. Boy of the month, they said, but he has a secret. Thanks for the life hack, bro.